Best of the Best is a 1989 martial arts film, and in my own personal opinion, I would call Best of the Best perhaps the most enjoyably bad martial arts film that America has ever produced. It stars a couple of big named Hollywood stars. It's got Eric Roberts and James Earl Jones, Sally Kirkland, and Chris Penn. When the movie came out in the 80s, it was right in the middle of a martial arts renaissance in films. I guess you could call it a renaissance. In 1984, one of the hottest films then was The Karate Kid. And then there was the sequel in 86. And then in 1988, there was Bloodsport. Yeah, it only made sense for there to be a different kind of a martial arts film, but still in the same vein as a Bloodsport or a Karate Kid. Thing is, Best of the Best deals with Taekwondo. Despite the movie being very enjoyable, it is also very, very cliched and very, very silly. It deals with a group of these talented martial artists who are chosen to compete in this big world tournament. They all have very different traits, very different personalities, and James Earl Jones is going to be their coach throughout the whole thing. They all have very different reasons for winning. They all have very different personalities, lots of which are very silly and animated. But some of them you can actually sympathize with. One that you can sympathize with is Eric Roberts, because I got nothing against Eric Roberts, like as an actor, but in this film, look at his hair. Say what you will about his acting, his martial arts, and the way he acts in this film. The way that Eric Roberts' hair looks in this, wow. But probably the most intriguing subplot in this is Philip Ree's subplot. He's this man named Tommy Lee, like the drummer, and he's probably the best fighter in the U.S. team. When he was a kid, he watched his older brother compete in the same tournament, and his brother was killed in combat by by the Korean Taekwondo champion named Daehan. Tommy's very scarred for the whole thing, and he really wants to avenge his brother, but because he wants to avenge his brother so badly because Daehan killed his brother. Tommy is he could possibly kill Daehan in a fight just to get even, just out of anger. That's probably the most legitimate emotional aspect of the film is Tommy Lee's subplot. James Earl Jones playing the coach is good. But again, with James Earl Jones, he's also kind of cartoony. He's one of those very, very overly strict, overly mean coaches that you'd see in many other things and that you've probably been a part of and had to deal with in real life, whether you were playing a team sport or in regular phys ed in school. Yeah, James Earl Jones is a lot like that. But he's drawn out a little bit better than what you'd see most often. I say just a little bit better because it's not until like a little bit later on in the film when you learn his motives. But by the time his motives come into play, it's kind of forgivable. So the martial arts in this movie is super well done. Yes, the movie does take a lot of corny turns, and it does have a very, very corny ending to it. But, as I said, the movie does have enough redeeming qualities. A couple of which are legitimately good, but most of which are cheesy good. As said, Eric Roberts has beautiful hair in this. Yeah, this movie, Best of the Best, is one of my favorite guilty pleasure films. So yeah, as an enjoyable guilty pleasure sort, I'll give Best of the Best from 1989 3 stars out of 4. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you again next time.